What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Be in the market, one trade at a time. If you're new to the channel, Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below, like, comment, and share. Now, last week was a crazy week for penny stocks. Um, congrats to all of you all who watched the video and were able to lock in those profits for Genius Brand. Um, just a crazy week in general. I know, me personally, I got some profits from that. I think they're still on the run to continue to go up based on just news and stuff that's going on with the company. So if you missed out on that video for last week, I'll have a link to it at the top so you guys can check it out. Still think there's some more, run coming from that. But anyway, let's jump into this week's watch list. So this is my watch list for this week as far as penny stocks are concerned. So jumping into the first one, we have ticker sign VISL, and that's for Vislink Technologies, and their moving average moving average 100 is $1. Moving average 50 is $1, and their moving average 100 is $1.03. Excuse me, their moving average 50 is $1.02. And they ended the week at 99 cents. So they're kind of right around their moving average 50. Their moving average 50, moving average 100, and their moving average 10. They're kind of all converged at this one point. So let's jump and see where that's at. So it kind of fell off, towards the end of trading the day, and then bounced back a little bit, started to rally a little bit. And this is on the Webull app. So if you haven't gotten Webull, I have a link down below. You can sign up. But all these stocks are also on Robinhood. So if you have Robinhood, all these exact same stocks are on Robinhood as well. If you're on Webull and like to join Robinhood, or if you're in Robinhood and like to join Webull, I have links down below for both of those where you all can sign up. But for charts and analysis, I like to use Webull because it has a lot more information. So going in here, we can see that it kind of bounced back and tried to rally back towards the end of the day, and I think it's going to continue to rally next week. There's a company that makes a lot of cool technology, but also one thing I like to do on here is to go back into some actual information on the company and see where they're at, and not just read charts, because I don't believe just reading charts gives you enough information. So starting on this, going to some information. This is on the 27th. This is their latest press release, by the way. So they don't really have another press release that came out since then. It says first quarter highlights for Vislink Technologies reported quarter 1 2020 financial results. They named Charlton Miller as Chief Executive Officer and Michael Bond as Chief Financial Officer. So they got a new CFO and CEO. Which are big moves in any company. Those are two big positions. It said they completed a capital raise of $6 million, fulfilled delivery of remaining equipment on the $2.8 million U.S. Army contract the company received in 2019. So if you go back and look at their charts historically, when they first got this contract, the stock shot up tremendously. It shot up to like $8 or so a share, and they've actually completed this contract. So they got a contract from the U.S. Army, and they've completed that contract. So, to me, I'm thinking there's going to be another contract. And once that contract comes, I definitely see this shooting up. Now, it's all speculative. I don't work for the company. I'm not a representative. I just know historically when this contract first came out, which is on their website as a press release, the stock shot up like crazy. It says they received a $1.3 million contract from a European partner supply equipment and services for border protection. Received an order valued of 400,000 for satellite communication equipment from Airbus Defense and Space Limited. Received a $400,000 contract to supply airborne surveillance video downlink solutions to government agencies located in the MENA region. So this company, you know, as it's trading at 99 cents, has some huge partners that they're working with. The United States Army and Airbus, those are not small entities. So, I think this company has a lot of up potential to run up, and it's just a matter of time before it does. So I think locking in at the price of 99 cents or below, or even around the $1 or $2 range, I think is really good, because to me they're just like one press release away from this just shooting off into a really high price. So that's the my first one from my watch list. My second one from my watch list, I have ticker sign AVGR for Avenger. And that's not the superheroes Avengers. That is the company Avenger, spelled with an I. um, the moving average 50 is 43 cents. Moving average 10 is 44 cents. Moving average 100 is 42 cents. And they ended the week at 44 cents. So they're above both their metrics, their moving average 50 and their moving average 100 and moving average 10. So if you guys have never used the chart analysis on Webull, you can actually go in here. These will automatically pop up on here, but you can go into the settings and actually change what type of chart you want to use and what color. I like to use these three metrics, moving average 10, 50, and 100, because it's kind of to me a cutoff for short term, medium term, and long term. And based on those metrics, I like to see how the stock is actually performing, because based off those metrics you can really see a trend of movement and how it's performing. So if you look on here, chart wise, there was a point where the moving average 10 dipped down below the moving average 50, but it kind of pulled back from its moving average 50 and started to break out. So right here, if you would have noticed that it had that dip and it started to rally back up, if you'd have bought here, then you could have seen that it was going to go back up, and you could have just rode that wave back up. Now the opposite thing also happens. If it goes down and you see it goes down below its moving average 50 and starts to dip off into its moving average 100, then it may have a potential of just running completely down. So it works both ways, in the positive and in the negative, when just looking at charts. But as you know, just looking at charts to me is not enough. I want to see the reasons for why these charts perform the way they do. So with that being said, going to some press releases from the company. We have this came out May 13th. It says they had 23% year over year revenue growth. And so let's go into it. First quarter and recent highlights: increased total revenue 23% year over year to 2.3 million, driven by a 39% increase in catheter sales. Grew total Panthers revenue by 75%. Year over year to 1.6 million. Launched 11 luminvascular sites in the first quarter after adding 14 new accounts to the second half of 2019. So they have quite a bit of things going for them, and I like to see that they had a 23% increase year over year. There are a lot of companies out there, especially penny stocks, that are just like bleeding money, just like a money burn. Just their financials are like really crazy, and there are very few that actually have earnings that are positive. So to see a company say that they're gaining revenue, and that they're getting proceeds from the things they're doing, is always a positive sign, because basically news alone doesn't just drive a company. It depends on the news that the company has. So earnings is one of those things that once they're good, to me, and you actually dive into it and see what's going on, that can actually be, the leading cause to me of why a stock can perform really well in the long term. Now, for short term, there are different news of products and stuff that come out, and things of that nature, which will bring spikes in the company, and spikes in the share price, because a lot of people rally around that news. But that stuff is, to me, is more of a gamble than actually looking at a company's financials. So another press release from them, and this is more recent. It says announced 510K filing of Osolaris next generation image guided CTO system. So I have no idea what that is. Not in the medical field, but I do know that this Form 510K is the first process that you need to do to file for compliance with the FDA to get your specific drug or product approved. So they're basically taking measures to get this approved with the FDA, which to me is pretty big news. This came out May 20th, so looking forward to see if they get approved or what process comes next after this. I know the FDA has been kind of, you know, trying to fast track a lot of things because of what's going on, in the world with the whole Roni and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm interested to see, once this comes out, it'll possibly, FDA approvals are one thing that, helps stocks to shoot up tremendously. So, definitely one to watch in the future. And gonna go and jump into the next one. So the next one we have DGLY, and this is for Digital Ally. Moving average 10 is $2.50. Moving average 50 is $2.50, and moving average 100 is $2.55. So if we go to their chart, they had a little small breakout towards the end of the trading today. Going back to what I was saying beforehand, if we look at this chart right here, basically what I was explaining, we see the moving average um, 10 starts to break and go down below the moving average uh, 50. So as it starts to break and go below the moving average 50, it hits another level, which is the moving average 100. And then once it starts to break, it basically just continues this downward run sideways. It tries to come back up above the moving average 50, and then it goes back down. And then now, where it ended the week, it kind of is, to me, on a reversal from its downward position. So it's starting to go back up past its moving average 50 and possibly towards going past its moving average 100, which to me, is the beginning of a breakout. So, this cross section right here is basically, to me, the beginning of a breakout. So that's kind of how I read charts, analysis wise. But again, I also like to get some more information on what's going on with the company, what they do. Now, jumping into a press release, Digital Ally is actually a company that makes body cams, video surveillance stuff for government and law enforcement. And I don't know if you've seen the news or anything like that lately, but it's basically what a lot of people are buying. Um, a lot of law enforcement companies or law enforcement agencies, I should say, are beefing up their patrols, beefing up all their equipment, and the company that makes the equipment are benefiting from that. So this came out pretty recently. This article, it says Digital Ally announces new safety product release in response to the Roni situation. So, um, going here, just going to read the top part. Non-contact thermometer slash controlled entry and EPA Category 5 disinfectant sanitizer among safety products introduced to the market in second quarter under Company Shield and ThermoView brands. So, they're basically trying to get help in large areas. So, reading more into this, ThermoView is a non-contact temperature measuring instrument that measures temperatures through the wrist. Control entry to facilities when temperature measure exceed predetermined parameters based on temperature and/or facial recognition reasons. ThermoView provides instant pass/fail audible tone with temperature display and control access to facilities based on such results. It can be widely applied in schools, offices, buildings, subway stations, airports, and public venues. So this ThermoView seems to be a pretty cool product. I know a lot of people, temperature is a big thing with the roadie situation, and monitoring and regulating that. If this product comes out and there's a lot of tests and a lot of publicity about it, I definitely can see this being adapted into a lot of different places. Even sports arenas or things of that nature. Because everyone's gonna, I don't think everyone's gonna, be wanting to get tested everywhere they go. But getting temperature read, I think people will tolerate that. And you know schools and office buildings and subways and airports and public venues, these are all places that are trying to open back up. So to me, this is a solution to help combat that. So people are looking for stocks that are kind of helping the Roni situation. This is one of those rare stocks to me that kind of combats both things. It helps combat the Roni, but it also is widely used because of the whole rioting and things of that nature that are going on, and law enforcement beefing up, their supply of equipment. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone with this stock, and a unique one to put on a watch list. So going into my next one, we got Plug for Plug Power, ticker sign PLUG. Moving average 10 is 488. Moving average 50 is 47. Moving average 100 is 491. They ended the week at 488. So they are right at their moving average 10. So again, going back to some more chart analysis things, we can see that this downward trend begins. And it crosses its moving average 50, then it hits down, starts to cross its moving average 100, then there's a massive sell-off that has begun, and just again like the other one, it has crossed the threshold of its moving average 50 yet again, and then to me this is the potential for a breakout, but don't want to use that as just the basis for it. So going into some more information, this I think recently came out. Says Plug Power reports first quarter 2020 results, reaffirming guidance for 2020. Made meaningful progress on its hydrogen vertical integration strategy, reduced costs of capital. Company is on path to deliver on its 2024 targets. So Plug Power continues to operate through the Roni pandemic while prioritizing safety of its employees. During the pandemic, company has had to continue support mission critical applications for its customer with record high volume. So basically, just saying how they're combating that and things that are going on with the company. Um, let's go down. All right, so gross billing was 443 million compared to 22 million in 2019. Operating income loss of 25.9 compared to 20.5. EBITDA 6.1 compared to 8.8. GAAP EPS is 0.12 compared to 0.14. So going to some more information. It says that they launched the 125 kilowatt ProGen zero emission engine. This engine supports heavy duty on and off road applications, including Class 6, 7, and 8 trucks, transit buses, large scale stationary, and various port applications. Continue to enhance its on road market offering with lighting systems and build electronic fuel cell powered trucks. Close a new multi-site anchor customer Gen Key agreement with a 2020 gross billing opportunity of 50 million. So that's a pretty big deal. Um, and one thing that I'm interested in this company is how their truck compares to like Nikola Motors truck, because they're both, saying they have fuel cell powered trucks, but and kind of like in this hydrogen niche. So I'm wondering how their trucks compare, or how they're built compared to the Nikola Motors trucks. That would be something to see side by side, and I'm interested in how that actually works. So this is the truck they have that I'm familiar with, and it's not quite as big as the Nikola trucks, but I think having hydrogen powered trucks in general, like it all, to me is pretty cool, and definitely a step forward for the technology. And then they also have building the green hydrogen economy, talking about the growth of hydrogen, scaling up buildings using hydrogen. Going down some more. So then we have, we increase this. Okay, read it. All right, so jumping into some more financials. We have cash and cash equivalents, 74, uh, 340 compared to 139. Uh, restrict restricted cash, 56,804 compared to 54,813. Then total current assets, 277, 53 compared to 313, 340. So it seems like financially they're doing okay. I'm just skimming over this. It doesn't seem like they're bleeding too much money, in my opinion. But you know this is on their website. You all can go read it. Uh, but I think what they're doing, uh, you know, with the devices they're making, and their whole approach to hydrogen, is pretty innovative in my opinion. They have a lot of big deals coming up that it seems to be in the works, but a lot of interesting things coming from this company, and I think I'm interested to see how they perform in the future. So jumping into my last one on my watch list, we got Fuel Cell Energy, ticker sign FCEL. Moving average 10 is 26, no, 260, and then moving average 50 is 258. Moving average 100 is 260. So moving average 100 and moving average 10 are pretty close to each other. So let's go and look at their chart. So we have like a small breakout that has occurred. Now we look here. There's a drop off, and then is a steady breakout. So like this is the opposite of what I said. As the breakout begins, you see it goes past the moving average 50. Then you see it converge and go past the moving average. Um, 100. So, this is the beginning of a breakout. Volume was crazy high as well. If you see it right here, the amount of people who are buying it is pretty crazy. And this has begun a small little breakout. Now, you know, I think it was going to continue a little bit more, just for the fact that this amount of volume is quite ridiculous towards the end of the day. Um, so that being said, let's go into some information on the company. They haven't really made a press release in quite a while, since May. So I think they're due for another press release. In this coming month, just for the month of June, because they went almost the whole month of May without having one. But they have, if you're not familiar with the company, Fuel Cell Energy makes fuel cells. They have this sure source system, which is how they basically get factories to be more efficient. Um, and that's a tongue twister. Sure Source 4000. It's one of their products that they have. Very interesting technology. Definitely, way ahead of their time, in my opinion. But let's just go into the May 8th article and just read this one. So, going into the May 8th one, it says 10 million megawatt hours. Is the culmination of 5 decades of innovation optimizing the Sure Source power platform. And Jason Few, who's the CEO, basically stated this. Our fuel cell platform provides uh, differentiated clean energy solutions to meet key utility, community, and commercial and industrial consumers' energy needs. Fuel Cell Energy's power platform meet the energy needs of critical facilities such as hospitals, schools, and microgrids. Our platforms are multi-fuel, including zero carbon solutions through the use of on-site biofuels. We're advancing the transition to a large-scale distributed energy infrastructure with our platforms that produce virtually no pollution. So it just basically explains, all the things they're using: hotels, universities, hospitals, uh, wastewater treatment, large scale microgrids. Very interesting technology. Zero emissions. Definitely something that I can see a lot of people, a lot of big companies adopting in the future, just as more projects and stuff come out. Now that's the end of my list for this week. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you guys are looking at for the week. You know, Tell me, if these stocks go up. Um, you know, Good luck to you all out there who are trading. Drop a comment down below if you liked it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Definitely means a lot. Uh, and thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. That's what I forgot to mention as well. Finally made it to 1,000 subscribers. Glad these videos are helping everybody out there. Uh, you know, it's just been my journey to try to help people find, deals out there in the market, because there are a lot out there. Trying to point people in the right direction. For me, I'm a retail trader. I'm not, a professional investor. So I was always wondering, how do I find these good stocks? How do I find stocks out there? Where do I start to look? So, doing research, and I figured, hey, while I'm doing it, while I'm learning, my learning can help someone else out. So I'm glad that you all are getting value from these videos, and I'll continue to do them as long as I can. And make sure that subscribe button and that bell notification, so that every week you can get added to and figure out these penny stocks. So good luck to you all out there trading, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.